What up guys? I'm Matt Field, professional Formula Drift driver. Except that was my 2017 car. This year, we're building a 2013 Chevrolet Corvette. Welcome to Field Prep. We're going to be working with some of the wiring and electronic stuff. I have to mount the Motec PDMs, got to figure out the actual components to the wiring, so the clock is ticking, and we're going to have a ton to do. So stay tuned, I hope you enjoy this episode. We've got most of all the wiring things figured out. So we're gonna start figuring out where to place our PDMs. These are really, really cool because this takes place of all the relays in a car. So you have your inputs and your outputs, and basically you run the outputs of these to the things that you want to turn on. And there's all kinds of sick parameters that you can put, turn on doing this at this point, all this stuff. Stuff that's way, way out of my working range in my brain, but I know we gotta place them and I can definitely do that. Drilled my first hole, gonna put the one in there so that I can smash and mark the other ones. Then after that, I'll probably start drilling the hole in the firewall for the bulkhead fitting. But yeah, this car already came with a crap ton of riv nuts, and I see people's comments talking about investing in riv nut stock. You got it. Crap, stripped the bolt. I stripped the bolt that I was using to riv nut. I gotta get it out. I'm gonna try to get it out with vice grips. Dead. There she goes. We're back in business. All right, so now I'm gonna put it in, make sure all of these bolts line up, hopefully. When I go to install this for the final time, I have these really small rubber washers that are meant for these 5mm bolts. Probably put it in between the PDM unit and the chassis so it gets a little bit of insulation. I don't know if it needs it at all. It might just be a waste of time, but I think it looks cool, or I think it's doing something cool. Got something pretty cool here. Steering angle sensor. This connects to the AIM digital dash, which is the data acquisition software and unit that I use for the car. What you do is you mount this somewhere, wrap it around your steering shaft, and as you turn left and right, the string moves in and out, and that actually shows and plots on data your steering angle. I broke a lot of these with the S14 because the one downside to this is it goes this long and that's it. So if you overextend it, you rip it and you break it, and then it's screwed and you got to get a new one. And then they're always not the funnest things to change out because they're right on the firewall. But I want to make it easier to change out, and I want to make it so they don't break anymore. So I figured out exactly where the steering angle sensor is going to go. This is where I'm thinking of mounting it, since there's a nice flat place right here on the firewall. And of course, you guessed it, more riv nuts right into the firewall. And I figured out how I'm going to attach it to the steering shaft because the pull cable needs to wrap around the steering shaft. Got this little shorty 5mm bolt. I'm going to weld this to the steering shaft, and then this eyelet's going to loop over that with a nut, and I just kind of wrapped it around and figured out the right location that it needs to be in. So now I got to go ahead and pull the whole steering shaft out, TIG weld that, put the steering shaft back in, then check it all and mount the steering angle sensor to the firewall. So I got it marked where I want to weld on that stud, that bolt right here. So I'll go ahead and weld it, put it back in again. Got the steering shaft together. It's kind of a pain in the ass. That joint right there, the splines are just like so perfect that you got to get it perfectly lined up, and I'm like hanging upside down. It just wasn't working well. Mount the steering angle sensor now. So to hook this thing up, this is obviously going to go around and come on here, but what we want to do is turn it all the way to the left, and then it's going to hit full lock. Then I will attach this right here. That way I know when I go right all the way, the string is going to wrap up, and I'm still going to know that I have this much slack left in it, so it's never going to max it out this way or max it out that way. All right, let's see if it works. All right, that's full lock, and we still have some slack. We're good. Got the bulkhead that's gonna go through the firewall. This is what our engine harness is gonna pass through. Gotta drill it. I just went and picked up some M4 hardware for it so that it can be bolted into the firewall. You can see we already have it marked out. I'm going for this hole. That was just a test hole to see where it came through on the firewall and where it poked through, but our hole saw is gonna take care of that. So I just got a hole saw it, I'll smooth it, and then drill the 4 holes. There she blows. So an 1.5 inch hole saw is perfect for this, but you can see it's got the little nubs that the locking collar locks on. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and hit that with the file in a couple of little places so that this just slides through because it's a little tight. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in, test it out, see how it looks on the other side. Been figuring out what I'm gonna do to breathe the valve covers into the oil tank. ARE says that you have to either tee the valve covers together or run them both to the oil tank here. This is where the valve covers go. So I've been trying to figure out with what's going on here. And Nitrous Express has sent me my new intake manifold that's plumbed for the direct pour nitrous. But since it's not here and I'm trying to figure out where this -10 line crossover breather line is gonna go, and like looking at pictures and figuring out how far it's gonna go and like laying stuff down. And so I figured out where I'm putting stuff on the valve cover finally. Gonna weld a 1/2 NPT bung into this valve cover. A 1/2 NPT to 2-10 fitting is gonna screw in here, and then 2 valve covers are gonna connect like you saw before. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld this up. I cleaned it, then I'll put the valve cover back on, make sure that the lines are gonna be good, and then weld the -10 directly opposite on the other valve cover. All right. So now I just need to figure out where directly across is so that I can weld this -10 bung. We're gonna come out with the straight fitting, go into our T right here. That T is gonna thread in there. These are gonna run together. I just really hope it clears all the nitrous stuff. All right, I just prepped the 2 surfaces, filed it clean, chamfered it, got this clean. This is actually a pretty cool thing that I figured out a little while back of how to hold this centered on the hole. Because sometimes if you do start to weld or you touch it with a rod, it'll move or whatever. So you get a centering punch, put the centering punch in there, put it on there. Then you know it's centered on your hole, and if you do jab it with the rod a little bit, whatever, it won't move. Let's weld it up. Great, now this looks like death. I guess it was the tungsten that I was using, wasn't liking it. I switched back to that purple E3 stuff, and it doesn't look the greatest now that I had to go over this part that exploded, but this doesn't look like total hell. Ugh, I hate that. Something that's like on top of the motor that you're gonna see, and now it's gonna be that way for life. Ugh. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Check back in next week. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think.